Welcome back, football fans. It is week 3 of the AAF. Today is the first game on the Sunday schedule, third of the day. Birmingham Iron go to Georgia State Stadium to take on the Atlanta Legends, and they're the final home opener of this league. Atlanta got the ball and pretty much ate up the whole first quarter. Their first drive lasted 9 minutes and 30 seconds. They got down to the 2-yard line. They went for a 4th and goal, and they were stopped. And on that drive, offensive lineman John Klein, broke his ankle and is probably going to be gone for about 6 weeks. So, literally tough break for John Klein and the Legends. Luis Perez's first drive went pretty much 4 and out. Atlanta got back the ball again, ate up a lot of time for the rest of the first quarter and into the second quarter. Again, they got down to the red zone. Got down to the 3-yard line. They ended up, Young Hoku ended up kicking a 21-yard field goal to give him a 3-0 lead. And later on in the half, Perez leads the Iron down with Trent Richardson, and Nick Novak kicked a 41-yard field goal. Terrible call too at the end of the first half. A terrible pass interference. I thought this was ball was uncatchable at the 3:17 mark of the second quarter. It was on Swan on Atlanta. It gave Birmingham 1st and goal at the 4 and at the 5, and Trent Richardson took it in for a 5-yard run, his first of 3 touchdowns for the day. The 2-point conversion was no good. Matt Sims came back on the field, let his team down towards the end of the half, and another field goal, this time a 31-yarder by, again, Young Hoku. And so far, Young Hoku is the highest scorer on the Atlanta Legends. In fact, he's outscoring the entire offense, which tells you the type of year the Atlanta offense is having. All right, third quarter, the Iron come out. Fumble recovery at the 12:36 mark. Nick Novak kicks another 27-yard field goal. The Iron lead 12-6. Later on that quarter, Luis Perez drives down his team. Trent Richardson, it's a 3-yard touchdown. And he also scored the 2-point conversion on the pass by Luis Perez. It was 26 Iron. Fourth quarter, Luis Perez finally throws his first pick of the year to Carlos Murray of Atlanta at the 12:50 mark of the first quarter. But unfortunately, again, drop passes were a killer for the Atlanta offense. Matt Sims had that 1-by-2 drops in the end zone. And they went for it because they would, which I think was a terrible call by Bruce Coiler. And Sims ended up getting sacked at the 30-yard line, turning the ball over on downs again to the Birmingham Iron. Jamar Summers had an interception later on the quarter for the Birmingham Iron at the 7:35 mark. Again, Luis Perez drove down, led by Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson got his 3rd of 3 touchdowns today, a 6-yard touchdown run, making it 26-6. The 2-point conversion was good by LaDaniel Washington on a pass from Luis Perez. So it was 28-6 Iron, and this is pretty much the game was over by then. But in garbage time, Matt Sims hit Monty Crockett with 1:41 left in the end zone. A beautiful pass too, right in the corner of the end zone. We had our 2nd ever onside conversion. This one was complete. Matt Sims on a 48-yard pass. Unfortunately, with only 1:14 to go and you're down by 16, he was forced to be aggressive. He threw another pick in the end zone. Game over. Birmingham goes to 3-0, as the Birmingham fans would say. for John. Atlanta is at 0-3, so we have Orlando and Birmingham in the Eastern Conference tied at 3-0, and we have Memphis and Atlanta at 0-3. Matt Sims in the day actually did pretty good. He was 28 of 48 for 328 yards. He was also the leading rusher, which is pretty pathetic. He had 27 yards. Offensively, the Legends had double the amount of yards the Iron had. They had over 400 yards on offense. Iron just broke over 200, but turnovers, drop passes killed Atlanta. Santavius Jones was the leading receiver for Atlanta with 72 yards, followed by Malachi Jones with 58 yards. And Tyson Graham of Atlanta had 10 tackles today. Luis Perez, 17 of 31, 160 yards, 1 pickoff. Trent Richardson was the leading rusher, 46 yards and 17 carries, 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. He had 20 of Birmingham's 28 points. And Beniquez Brown of Birmingham was the leading tackle with 10 tackles. All right, let's talk about this game now. Atlanta came out red hot. The short passing game was working good. They had Birmingham on its heels, but Birmingham has had the best defense all year. So every time they get to the red zone, they crack down and they forced either 4 down and out, or they forced them to do field goals, or it was turnovers. Now, I blame a lot of today's Atlanta's woes on the receivers. I've never seen so many drop passes in my life today. I mean, a lot of these were right in the numbers, right in your hands. There must have been about 3-4 drops in the end zone by itself. We saw this last week in San Diego when it was raining, but I can at least say it was raining in San Diego, and they were wearing gloves anyway, which is stupid. Today was 60 degrees and sunny in Atlanta, so it was football weather. But drop passes were killer, and one of Matt Sims' 3 interceptions was because it fell out of the receiver's hands. Another one in the end zone in the end of the game, I don't really count that. They had to be aggressive. Another miscommunication was another pickle for Sims, and I'm sorry, Atlanta. These guys can get open. They're fast, but they cannot catch a cold. This is pretty pathetic. Of course, at the end of the game, I heard the announcers Holden and Adam Marcella say, "Why don't we bring in the Georgia quarterback Murray?" And I said, "Well, Murray cannot make the receivers catch the ball better." Sims was on point today, and like I said, that first quarter he had an opening drive of 12 and a half minutes. They pretty much ate up the whole first half. I think it was something like 14 minutes to 6 in favor of Atlanta, and as the game went on, Birmingham ended up having 33 yards total possession to Atlanta's 27 yards. And the Atlanta defense, to its credit, for second week in a row, played good, but they get tired. It's the same problem they have in Memphis. They couldn't run the ball last week. They couldn't really run the ball this week, forcing the passing game. And when Matt Sims has guys wide open, they do not catch the ball. Now on the other side too, I can honestly say the Birmingham's receivers are not that good either. I saw a lot of drop balls on Birmingham today, but nothing like what I saw in Atlanta. I mean, this was a disgrace what I was seeing. I mean, this is something you see out in street football. That's how bad these drops were. The other thing is, I blame Kevin Coyle also. When you're 0-2 and you have your own opener and you're facing the best defense in the league, you cannot go for it on 4th and goal at the 2. You got to take the points. Same thing later on in the game here. It was 3rd and 15 at the 16-yard line. You need points. He likes to go for it, knowing that your receivers are dropping passes the whole day. That was 6 points right there. And of course, the final score was 28-12. That's 6 points. 20. Listen, those 6 points make a big difference early in the game. Who knows what kind of adjustments maybe that you would have forced Birmingham to make. But the Birmingham defense was awesome again today. It was bend but don't break today. For Atlanta, it was shoot myself in both my feet today. It was pathetic. Atlanta now goes to Arizona to play the Hotshots out in Sun Devil Stadium on the Sunday night game next week on the NFL Network. And Birmingham comes home again to play the San Antonio Commanders. And of course, the Commanders are playing later on tonight against the San Diego Fleet at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. I have a feeling in the middle of the week we're going to be talking about Birmingham and San Antonio being the game of the week. This looks good, but we have one more game to go today. And that's it for this game. Atlanta came out on fire. Their defense was good. They were throwing a ball. Red zone offense is absolutely terrible. Too many drop passes. And like I said, I blame the receivers on Atlanta, but I also blame Kevin Coyle for some bad offensive play calling. When you're playing the Birmingham defense, who's the best defense in the league, I mean, they've shut out, they pretty much played it 9 of 12 quarters of shutout ball. You have a chance to score points on the first drive, take the points. 3rd and 15, you're still in the game, take the points. Young Ho Koo has been pretty much perfect this season. He's your leading scorer. Let him kick it. All right, we have San Antonio, San Diego tonight. We'll give you highlights of that game later. Enjoy the football, everyone. And as the Birmingham Iron fans would say, for John.